So I did a quick test, quick preview test of the sim with the settings that we have, and this is how it looks like. Now the Kong animation here is quite fast, and what I ended up doing in the project is I slowed this down twice, so 2 times longer than this, and that caused, or that made the interaction and all these explosive parts a lot calmer, because Kong is not jumping around very quickly, which means the velocity or the impact on the pieces is much lower. Now apart from that, this is the input. Apart from that is the RBD packed. The RBD object I had this create active object and it should be off. Sorry about that. We should have a static object here just deforming, and so I did that, and Kong now is interacting with everything. This is made with 4 sub-steps. You can see the collision there in the beginning. It's actually working pretty well. The constraint is very weak, that's why everything is falling, but overall I'm pretty happy with the result, and it's working, so there is no issues with this. This is a very good solid starting point that with a little bit of tweak we can get a very decent result out of this, even with a glue constraint. Now a very important part to note is look at these small pieces there, and we also have big chunks, and look how stable they are. Okay, now obviously I changed to use mass, and I didn't talk about this in details, but we're going to cover this more. And one of the reasons for this stability is the scale of the scene and the use of mass, which makes Bullet much more makes Bullet behaves in a much better way and a more realistic way. So for Kong, to retime it, if you want to get the same animation like I did with the workshop, in the time blend here, I'm going to by speed, change this to by speed, and then speed to 0.5, and this is going to make it slower. So speed 1, yeah. And so let's template this. This is the 2 times slower, and it's going to be it's going to look and feel more realistic. You can also make it even slower if you want to make it feel heavier and bigger. But yeah, so that's the change we can do there. And this is also going to provide the in-between frames, so there is nothing else to worry about. Now, what I'd like you guys to focus on for this week, we've done quite a bit of stuff here. We've done the OTL, which I think is very important to go through and recreate that. Now you may say, oh, I can just take the OTL and I don't have to redo this, and I totally agree with that. I totally disagree with that, because what's going to happen is you're not going to run into any issues. You're not going to experience any problems that you may face with that, and doing the actual work is very important. Now you may think that it's not relevant to destruction to know all that stuff, but in fact it is. A lot of destruction tricks are done in SOPs, and there's not so much that we're going to do in DOPs. Everything is pretty much SOP, and the more we know about SOPs, the faster we're going to be, the better we're going to be at Houdini and dealing with destruction or any other topics. So definitely go through that process. It's gonna get you guys to the level needed to continue to digest the remaining of the content. We're gonna get to even more advanced stuff later, and then once you finish the OTL, destroy the model, whatever model you have, go through that and do any fracturing. It doesn't have to be amazing at this level. We just want to get the technical part up and running. So do the destruction, fracture the geometry, set up the basic destruction sim like this, get the collision geometry to work, and get everything to a stable place. So fracturing using the custom OTL, and then using the animation of the characters to create the collision and everything, and get all these things to be stable, and then we are in a very good position to continue for the upcoming weeks. So at this point, it's actually quite a bit of stuff, I know that, but I also want you guys to be thinking of what you're going to do. I don't want to see a lot of duplicates. We have different models and we have different animations, and please explore them. It doesn't have to be exactly this one. You can redo this one for technical purposes, but it would be nice to see other alternatives that you will run into new issues and I could help you debug them, or maybe even come up with new stuff, because I may not have the solution right away and I have to do actual R&D or try a few things to figure out some solution for whatever problem you're going to be running into. And I think that's pretty much it for this week. Thank you guys for watching and see you next week. Bye bye.